Legal holiday here in Kansas. Many celebrating, including the Kansas African American Museum. 12 News reporter Brock Wilson was there today to look at the significance of this holiday.
Just over half of U.S. states officially recognize Juneteenth as a legal holiday. This is the first for Kansas. At the Kansas African American Museum, they say it's encouraging to finally have the holiday officially recognized.
I think it just shows progress coming forward and recognizing the culture.
Juneteenth brings a slightly larger crowd than usual at the Kansas African American Museum.
Today we've had a lot of traffic coming in. As maybe you can hear, we got some kids in the background coming in to enjoy some of the activities that we have.
TCAM Education Manager Brad Richards says even though they don't have any specific exhibits celebrating the holiday,
we have some interactive activities for the youth, word search activities, coloring activities, informational activities to provide them with some context about the history of Juneteenth.
And this is a special Juneteenth. It's the first year Kansas is recognizing it as a legal holiday.
I think it's good for the state. I think it's an appreciation and respect of our culture. In respect of our history.
But Brad believes more can always be done to highlight African American history.
I think we can do more things to continue to educate people about this history outside of Juneteenth, you know what I mean, and not wait till Juneteenth comes to highlight everything, of course.
That's why the museum is proud to emphasize African American history every day of the year.
And we hope the people of Kansas do the same thing to continue to educate themselves and push the story forward.
In Wichita, Brock Wilson, 12 News.
He says many people don't realize the rich African American history Kansas has predating the Civil War, especially considering Kansas was not a slave state, a lot of which is on display as the museum celebrates Juneteenth.